All right, here we go. We have one of the rising artists like in the Atlanta music scene and all that. We have Trilly in the building, Trilly with an exclamation mark. So how are you doing today, man?
Today I feel good, man. I woke up. I just I've been scrolling. I feel good though.
Yeah, nah, for sure. So like my first interaction, like just like hearing about your stuff. So basically, like on my personal page too, like usually I'll post some stuff and all that. So I posted like some Kenny Mason like a while back too, like Kenny Mason, David X, and then I think you noticed like that attention, and then I just checked out your page from there. And then like I was like checking out like the music and all that too, and like I think one of the videos I've seen was the intoxicated music video, which had like a very like interesting look and all that, just like with the style, the direction and all that too. And then I mean it even like led to like the projects and all that too. Like you have like Lord Trillington and all that too. Your Trill 20 Deluxe, Truly Yours, Trill, the Deluxe, and then Awaken from Reincarnation, and like those were like dope projects to hear and all that, so.
Appreciate that, man. You tapped in for real.
Yeah, likewise, man. And yeah, I'm just gonna get it like started right here. Were you born and raised in Atlanta initially, or like were you like living in like different areas at the time?
So I was born at Northside Hospital. That's like North Atlanta, Sandy Springs area. Um, and then I remember as a kid, so I grew up in a split household. Um, I remember as a kid, my mom lived in Vinance and Smyrna, and my dad lived in Douglasville, and then he had moved to the west side. And then when I was like 13, he moved to Denver. So yeah, I was pretty much in Smyrna and on the west side.
Okay. And I guess like the environment growing up, was it like kind of like different as a kid at the time, or would you say it was a kind of like amazing, or would it be like very different and all that?
Um, I would say I grew up kind of isolated. So like I told you, split household. So my mom was married and my dad was married. But my mom, she married somebody that was from the city. So I was with that side of the family a lot growing up. Um, that's like more so the hood experience. But like I grew up in the burbs, so things was cool. But like the struggles that a lot of people had, I felt like I didn't share with them. Like my household was like the biggest thing that I battled with growing up. But the environment, like I lived in a white neighborhood, so the neighborhood was good. Shit, I mean, like regular shit happened. I didn't grow up around like hella killing and stuff.
Okay, no, that's what's up, And I mean, Atlanta, like I know it has like a thriving like entertainment scene, like the music, the culture, everything else. It's like the mecca for like black music and all that too, and black culture. So, was there ever any inspiration from there that made you want to pursue more like the music scene?
Mm, yeah, I mean, just being in the city, you see a lot of stars. Like whether you in close proximity with them or you watching them from across town or whatever, like it was people I was up on when I was like 8, 9 that I see start to get talked about more widespread now. Like rich kids and like Young Thug, like those was people that was big to us, but fast forward they big to the world. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how like just being in the city, you see really what's possible or what can be possible.
Okay. Yeah, I've interviewed like a lot of like artists like in Atlanta, like from like Jay Newton to David X to like much more and all that. And I know with Atlanta, it has like a very like big culture with like unity and like black excellence. So to speak more about it, like what made it such like a place of like unity and like black excellence when it comes to like the music, the arts, and like the culture and all that.
Um, the black excellence part. I mean, it's a lot of pain in the city too. So pain breeds growth. So like we had like child murders and stuff. So like I just feel like the city has a lot of history that we had Black Wall Street. The city has a lot of history that is violent or negative or something like that. But we was able to take the pain and just turn it into something beautiful. And as far as like the unity, um, it's a lot of spaces, like creative spaces in the city, like venues for art, music. And it makes it easy to intertwine like different mediums of art. And on top of that, there's so many lit colleges in close proximity. It's always new people around and people that's moving to Atlanta specifically for music. Like it's the Big Apple. Like, but at some point, I mean, at the same time, though, it feels more united when you're a consumer, like behind the scenes. I feel like as an artist, it don't really feel united to me personally. It feels like a clout competition.
Okay. And like, to even like speak more on the music, like, like on the music scene there, was it kind of like an escape to get away from like the pain that's like going away, like in Atlanta too, like just to kind of be at an environment where you feel like safe and like comfortable at?
Music was my way to voice what was wrong with me in my head. So like I didn't grow up in a household where I could really talk about how I felt because it didn't really matter. So like I really grew up like really depressed, like since a kid. Like I just remember always wanting to die. And that feeling never went away for real until I just fully what's the word
Okay.
I'm trying to say? Engulf myself in music.
Okay, sounds good. No, I definitely understand, man. And like what like got you like introduced to like music and like who were like some artists or sounds that you kind of like listened to like growing up in that sense?
Um, Kaiser, that's my dad. So that's how I got introduced to music. He put me on my first songs. He was the first person whose songs I couldn't wait to hear. I would run his stuff back a lot. But I went through phases with rap too. So I could say I always liked some of the turn up stuff that was on the radio down south, like Rich Kids, Travis Porter, Lil Jon, Yin Yang Twins. I didn't know that they was Yin Yang Twins. I just knew their songs, but like, yeah, I liked all that stuff. And but up until I was like 11, 12, I was in the strictly 70s, 80s, and 90s rap, like Biggie, Big Pun, Nas, Talib Kweli, A Tribe Called Quest, Wu Tang, Busta Rhymes, Mos Def, Eminem, 50 Cent, like just real classic stuff. Jay Z. Um, I liked whatever was on pop radio from like 2008 to like 2013. Um, then I listened to ASAP Rocky and I started getting more into modern artists and albums. I was a real album guy. So like any album that I seen come out, I just listened to it, whether I knew the person or not. But like artist wise, like Drake, ASAP Rocky, Kendrick, the whole TDE, the whole Beast Coast, like Pro Era, Underachievers, Flatbeer Zombies, Isaiah Rashad, uh, I already said TDE, Mac Miller, Vince Staples, Earl, Tyler, Danny Brown, and this rapper that I found from Drake called Nicholas F. He ended up being one of my favorite artists of all time. But then I also got like ad lib influences, like people I like for their trap influence. Chief Keef, Young Thug, Young Gleesh, Space Ghost Kurt, Young Lean. Even though he ain't really trap, it's like experimental kind of trap. Um, Cardi, Uzi, Yachty, Dex, G Herbo, Icy Twat, Future, hella people, bro. I'm really a student.
Okay, no, that's what's up, man. No, that's very like very extensive, like very interesting too. And like I know that you talked about like your dad, like getting like more into like music and all that too. But have you ever had like any other family that was like making like music at the time too, or like had like an extensive history, like in that sense, or?
Family, nah. My best friend though, he was like the first person I met that rapped too though. His name Greatest Competition. You should check him out. He's a cool artist. But now he was the first person I think that upload. He was the first person I knew to upload a song on SoundCloud. I didn't even know what SoundCloud was. He put me on to that. He really made me want to record music more and actually drop it.
Okay, no, that's what's up, and that's like very interesting to hear and all that. I'll definitely check them out. And like getting into like rapping and, making music, like how did you get to do that like on your own, and what inspired you to do it and like take it seriously?
Um, my dad showed me how to write bars when I was like 8. I remember he pulled up a Beastie Boys song. I can't remember the name of the song. He pulled up a Beastie Boys song and the lyrics, and he like broke down to me what a line was, what a stanza was, what a 16 bar verse was, and that's usually the standard. And after that, I just remember just extensively working on it. Like it's always writing. I had always been recording, but I didn't really take it that serious. For real. Not until I was like 10, 11, I made a few songs. But then when I couldn't get my songs to sound good, I took another break. Then when my dad moved away, I was like, damn, now I would regret not taking advantage because I can't I can't write. Or I could write, but I couldn't record nothing. So once I moved with my dad when I was like 14, I yeah, I just really never looked back.
Okay, no, that's something. No, it's pretty like interesting to hear too. And as far as like your influences too, like I know you talked about like a lot of artists that you kind of like grew up like listening to and like even like tapping in, like being a student of the game. So would you consider them like your main like influences like when it comes to your sound? And do you have any like artists that you want to like work with someday musically?
Um, the artists that I feel like influenced my style the most, it's changed over the years, of course, but like I say I could speak for right now, the people that inspire me the most right now. Laser Dim, um, Kenny Mason, Bear One Boss. It really like local people, like people that I know or that I am not that far away from. Whether it comes to like work ethic, I think I'm influenced now more than ever by people's work ethic. Like sound wise though, I like Laser Dim's beats a lot. Like I like his music for real, but I like his beats. So his beats kind of influenced my beat selection over the past year. And then like Kenny Mason, like sometimes I listen to bro, and they just remind me like, damn, like niggas really is rapping.
Yeah, that's
Like
fine.
yeah, but nah, like my homies inspire me a lot. My homies inspire me a lot, and I ain't even saying none of the people I just named are my homies, but like people that people that I make music with really inspire me. And honestly, I don't even too much care to work with nobody else besides the people I already work with. Like, I really just want to get the bag so I could pay certain people to just lock in with me and just say, like, fuck your regular life for like 2 days or like a week. Like, let's come in, let's make like the best music. Like my dog, Young Sato, Young Sato 56. He hard. He's like one of the best. He's probably my favorite producer rapper. Like he does both, but like he's a crazy producer and he's a crazy rapper too. So yeah, I respect the people that I I bump shoulders with. Because really, I think when I started meeting people in the industry, like rappers that I did look up to, once I started meeting these people, it made me not be as influenced by them anymore because they be assholes or like I don't know, bro. Like you just have a certain vision in your head of how somebody is, and then when they don't live up to that, it just kind of lets you down. In the industry, though, let me think though. I fuck with Denzel Curry. I fuck with Jed. I fuck with Danny Brown. Them probably the three. Though I really want to work with producers. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I definitely see you like working with like Kenny Beats and all that too. Like I know he's like a great producer. Robert Glasper, like I think like that might be like someone that might be like very interesting too. I know there's like other ones like within like creative sounds like Illmind and like Ski Beats like that have like a great flow if you're trying to do that whole like Larry June currency type thing and all that too. And I mean Kenny Mason like he even dropped a project recently too. Like I don't know if you had that chance to like check it out and all that.
yeah, that shit's fire. That's what I mean, though, bro. Bro's back to rapping. Like that shit inspires me, bro.
Yeah, no, that's facts, man. And you know, I wanted to talk more about like your like stage name for a bit too, because Trilly, like it also has like an exclamation mark in that sense too. And you know, you don't really see like a lot of people with like exclamation marks. I know Jace from 2 9, like he had that, and then I think there was like name situation with that Jason Jace, like the underground rapper from like Texas and all that too. And like I mean Fat Man Key also had the exclamation mark as well too.
That's
So
that's the only reason why I put it, to be really honest, bro. That's the only reason why I put the exclamation point is because I seen Key had it, and I was like, oh, you could do that. Okay, bet. Like Trilly, a bunch of people got the name Trilly, and I got that from like ASAP Rocky because he was like my favorite artist, and I was like, okay, Trill. How can I make that sound like a name? I'm gonna add a Y to it. So people was calling me Trilly for a minute, and then once I realized, like, damn, like you can't even find me if you search Trilly. I just added the exclamation point. Actually, I just remembered something. I really used to. So I used to be on SoundCloud only. I didn't used to drop on all plats till like 2018. So when I used to drop on SoundCloud, I always used to change. I used to have two names in the Trilly thing, but like I would always change the second name. So the last like name I remember having is like Trilly Uzumaki, and then I just dropped the second name shit and I just added the exclamation. But honestly, sometimes I be thinking about rebranding again, bro. It still be hard to find my shit.
that's what's up, man. No, well, that's like very like interesting to hear and all that too. And I mean, to even like speak more on the creative process, like for your music, like what's that like, you know, when making music and like what would like a day and like making music be like for you?
Bro, it could be anything, bro. Like I don't have a job, so really when I wake up every day, I'm thinking about either editing or recording. So I don't know, bro. Like I could say the ideal situations where I like recording. I like recording after events. Like after a show, I like going to the studio or after anything, bro. I like going to the studio at any time. And when I say the studio, I'm talking about this right here and this right here. That's it. Like I just find somewhere to set up at, and just go. I like recording like half sleep though. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I'm on the verge of sleep, like I barely keep my eyes open. I like recording like that.
Yeah, no, that's what's up, man. No, that's very interesting to hear. Like, have you also like recorded like at like studios as well too? And like, what would you prefer more, like recording at home or like recording like at the studio?
I feel like if I could bring my setup to the studio, that would be cool. But like, it really doesn't matter to me. I feel like the studio is more for vibes. It's more for convenience. Like I wouldn't have to ask or like look around like, oh, who record at? Like, and then I also feel like with studios, the people at a studio. It's been a long time since I went to a studio, by the way. But for like a paid session that I paid for, it's been a long time. But I think people in them spaces they connect you to more people. So like the studio is cool for that, for getting connected in other places. But if I'm looking for like my own vibe, I don't know. I kind of just want to be alone. I don't want nobody being around me. For real, for real.
Okay, oh, that's some man. And to even speak more on like your other projects too, you have like Chill 20, like which there's like a deluxe version for it, Truly Yours Trill with a deluxe version on it, like Lord Trillington and like Awaken from Reincarnation. Like, what were the creative processes and inspirations for those projects?
So when I was like 13, that's when I came up with my brand because I was going to alternative school and I didn't really fuck with people there. So I just like kept my head down, was always drawing. One day I draw a key. I fuck around, come up with a slogan to the key that you are your own success. So then from there, literally, bro, I just based my entire brand off of that for real. Like so around the same time, I also came up with a bunch of EP names, like a list of names that I want to be basically tied to each other. I wanted all these projects to be tied to each other. And what inspired me to even start that is because I felt like I had a near death experience in one of my dreams, and everything like faded to white in my dream, and I woke up and I was holding my breath and I was sweaty and stuff. So I just felt like that moment just really kind of changed my life or changed like how I thought about shit. Cause I'm like, bro, if that's what happens after we died, and like it's really YOLO. So I came up with a whole list of names that I wanted to, go down. Awaken from Reincarnation, I think that was the first one. But I put so much money into that project, bro. Like I spent hella bread making that project. You could probably tell, like quality wise, that's my best project. But that's because I didn't have no bills to pay. I was like 16, 17. And I knew to do that at that time because I knew I wasn't going to be able to afford it at this age. I'm glad I did that. But like, yeah, when I was 17, bro, I put hella bread into that project. And it was going to be about what I was going through at the time. I just wanted to paint my come up story. I wanted to paint the struggles in my household, the struggles with my mom, the shit that nobody would ever understand unless it's through music. But after that EP, bro, I got like super duper sidetracked in life. Like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing after that. I mean, I do, but it wasn't nothing that I really, really should have been focused on. Like, I should just kept my foot on the gas and just kept dropping, kept making my connections. Instead, I just kind of fell back on releasing music because the music that I was getting mixed after that, shit wasn't getting all the way mixed. The engineer was finessing the shit out of me. Producers was finessing me. So it just seemed like there was no way I could follow up that EP. So every tape that I've dropped after that first tape are basically side quests for when I get back to the main story. And the main story is like, it's gonna have the skits, it's gonna have the voiceovers, whatever, but it's gonna paint my story's picture of how I even got to this point because it's a lot.
Okay.
But
Oh,
yeah, these are just side projects and stuff I recorded on my own. I started recording myself in like 2020, so I really just been using the time to just get my sound together for real, for real. Because when I recorded that first tape, I didn't even know my sound. I just knew what direction I wanted to go music wise. I knew I just wanted to come out with some boom bap shit. So when I switch it up, people can't say that I can't rap. But yeah, I just kept letting myself get discouraged. And by the time I worked myself back up to being in the space to drop music, that's when I had dropped Lord Trillington. And I was just coming off like toxic situations with girls. Um, I had dropped like a little EP before that, but I don't really count that because it's only on SoundCloud. And that was like the beginning of my mix journey on these projects. So like, yeah, bro, it's kind of a lot to explain, but like Lord Trillington is basically my comeback. That's what I consider my first real project since Awaken from Reincarnation. So what? That's like 4 years, a 4 year gap. So yeah, like I came with Lord Trillington, and after that, bro, I was just like, nothing is gonna deter me from doing what I need to do. Not no girls, not my living situations, my financial situations, not even the quality of this music is gonna stop me from dropping it. So, all the projects that I dropped from that point up until whenever is just gonna be me basically practicing, getting my sound right, getting better with mixing, and yeah.
yeah, no, that's what's up, man. And to even speak more on like other stuff too, like being at like a lot of like events in like Atlanta, like how do you value like the importance of it networking, such as like meeting different artists, like going to showcases, all that sort of stuff.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't even value that shit no more, bro. I used to value it, but like now it's like I don't really feel like that shit did anything for me. And maybe my take on that would change when I fucking blow up or some shit. Networking, you go outside, you meet these people, and then they just gonna sit back and wait for you to create your own moment. Not even one moment. I don't know how many moments you got. You either got to create 1,000 moments for the networking to be actually like working up. I've been doing, and I just don't feel like any of that shit has benefited me. Well, I ain't gonna say any of it. Like every once in a while, I'll get like, I don't know, somebody to let me backstage to something, or I don't even know, bro. Like honestly, more shit online, bro. It's few care to help me, like in any type of way for real.
Okay. No, that's I definitely understand that too.
Hello?
Like I know it's like the end of the year right now, so what are your plans to end off the year or like starting like 2025 in terms of like any music, creative projects and so forth? And do you have any like closing remarks you'd like to say?
So I'm working on two tapes right now. I don't necessarily have dates for them. I know Trillion is close to being done, and then I got Till Trill. That's like the boom bap conscious project. That's basically like it's gonna sound like Awaken from Reincarnation, but with more choruses and shit. But yeah, I got two projects coming, bro. And to end the year off, shit, I just want to try to enjoy my birthday. My birthday is on the 18th, so yeah, I might drop like a song, or hopefully my tape is done by then, so it could be out by then. But I ain't gonna promise that. But that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming to finish both of these projects before the end of the year.